I'm completely operational and all my circuits are functioning perfectly.
Just one moment, please.
I tried calling, but they don't have a listing for Mr. Wonderful.
What spelling did you use?
Okay, we're off and running. Let's get the ATIS here.
Landing and departing runway 16, left-hand right. Notice still mission 5G modems in effect.
Van Nuys ground,
Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey.
Oh, we got whiskey. We're putting in Auburn. We're putting in Auburn.
Alpha, we'll call you. Silver speed 522.
And it's
Nice ground check, 51467, clear of 1.
VFR here, so we don't have to worry about going IFR.
Southwest corner.
And I wanted to get out of here in cruise. And in this video, I want to focus on the quirks. Every plane has a personality and different quirks and what you need to do for it. And I wanted to put these on kind of on record, I guess you could say. Looking at all the cameras, making sure they're all working, and just to have it, And so we're going to Auburn. Direct 343 is
6 Whiskey Mike. You planning to go VFR? Or are you looking for Class Charlie surfaces?
We're planning to go VFR for 6 Whiskey Mike. We're planning on a right turnout and then heading direct to the north.
On the 6 Whiskey Mike, roger. And then when you reach the end, make sure you leave jet access on the south side of Charlie, please.
Okay, we'll leave jet access when we get down to Charlie for 6 Whiskey Mike. So either I'm looking at a tie down or like 6 planes ready to go. So I'm going to do the checklist here while we're here.
Silver speed 522, hold short of Alpha.
Silver speed 522, right?
Let's see how long it takes to get out. When I give them the go, we're go.
Radio 733, when you reach the end, make sure you move all the way up to the yellow hold line bars on the south side of Charlie.
All right, we'll move up all the way to the hold line bars. Radio 723.
Radio 733, and you can monitor Tower 119.3.
Monitor Tower 119.3, Radio 733.
Silver speed 522, follow citation.
Tower Golden Eagle, 6 Whiskey Mike at 16 right, Charlie, ready for takeoff.
Yeah. I'm sorry, last aircraft, say again?
Golden Eagle, 6 Whiskey Mike at 16 right at Charlie, ready for takeoff.
Golden Eagle, 6 Whiskey Mike, Van Nuys Tower, state departure request.
6 Whiskey Mike, like an early turnout, right downwind to the north.
6 Whiskey Mike, roger. You're number 2 for VFR departures.
Number 2, 6 Whiskey Mike, thanks.
Number 494.
All right, so we're going to continue with the checklist. Fuel boost pumps on low, check.
Number 3 Mike Kilo, runway 16 right, line up and wait, no traffic inbound.
Line up and wait, 16 right, 33 Mike Kilo.
And Van Nuys Tower, Cherokee 8397 Lima, holding short of 16 right.
All right, we got jets everywhere.
Roger, number 3 for VFR departures.
Okay, number 3 VFR departure 839, right crosswind for 8397 Lima.
It's got a high oil pressure on the right engine until it warms up.
Number 3 Mike Kilo, right crosswind departure approved, wind calm, running 16 right, clear for takeoff.
We got to be sharp here because we got
departure approved, 23 Mike Kilo.
kerosene burners everywhere. What do I got here? Prop planes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I make 6.
162 Juliet Charlie, Van Nuys Tower, wind calm, running 16 right, clear to land.
16 right, clear to land.
And 2 kerosene burners ready to go. And we're going to head out of here at direct track is 3 1/4. So we're going to set this to 325.
6 Whiskey Mike, right downwind departure approved, remain out of below 2,500 till north of the airfield. Wind calm, running 16 right, clear for takeoff, full length.
Okay, 16 right, clear for takeoff, on the roll, 6 Whiskey Mike, not higher than 2,500.
Number 0 Juliet Mike, join a right down.
All right, time, check.
Right and extend down.
What time is it, 11:28?
9 mile final.
Transponder, check.
16 right, 0 Juliet Mike, thank you.
We'll join the downwind and follow Gulfstream 0 Juliet Mike.
All right, first thing, fuel flow. Now this plane has a high right engine fuel flow.
Number 3 Mike Kilo, turn right 10 degrees.
Right, 10 degrees, Mike Kilo.
All right, so that's good. Airspeed alive.
Lima, right crosswind departure approved, wind calm, running 16 right, clear for takeoff.
Okay, right crosswind approved, 16 right, clear for takeoff, 8397 Lima.
Number 3 Mike Kilo, turn right crosswind now.
Right crosswind now, 3 Mike Kilo.
Yankee traffic, 5 mile final.
Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, traffic ahead to your right is a Cherokee on a right crosswind. Extend upwind, I will call a downwind turn for you.
6 Whiskey Mike, roger. That's a marker. Turn that puppy off. All right, so she wants...
Juliet Mike, Gulfstream traffic's now on a 5-mile final, descending at a 2,800.
No higher than 2,500.
Okay, Juliet Mike.
Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, do you have that Cherokee inside off your right?
6 Whiskey Mike, tally ho, will maintain visual separation.
Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, right downwind is approved at or below 2,500, reference that traffic.
2,500, and I might have misspoken earlier, I would like flight following after you hand me off.
Number 6 Whiskey Mike, say to destination.
Auburn, Alpha Uniform November for 6 Whiskey Mike.
Traffic inside 0 Juliet Mike. South Sky 618, Delta holding for 16 right at Delta, ready to go, request for the right crosswind departure.
I'm sorry, the aircraft requested a right crosswind, say your call sign.
Sky 618, Delta Hotel.
All right, there's a southwest coming in, front window, southwest.
Number 3 Mike Kilo, frequency change approved.
And he's probably for Burbank.
Number 0 Juliet Mike, turn base.
Wing up on the base, 0 Juliet Mike, traffic to follow in sight.
All right, look in the front window, that's the southwest. That's why they kept me at 2,500.
Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, squawk 2044.
2044, 6 Whiskey Mike.
Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, altitude your discretion, contact SoCal departure 120.4.
120.4, altitude restriction move. Thanks for your help, 6 Whiskey Mike. Talk to you next time.
Good day.
Bye. All right. Departure, good morning, Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, checking on, climbing out of 2,400.
Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, SoCal departure, ident, Burbank altimeter 3019.
3019 or 6 Whiskey Mike, flash coming at you.
Whiskey Mike, radar contact, miles west of Van Nuys, stay requested altitude.
6 Whiskey Mike, we're going to stay low for the wind, so initially 6,500 for 6 Whiskey Mike. Let's go to the next quirk. Let's get the engine set up here. So 32 inches.
Number 6 Whiskey Mike, maintain VFR at or below 4,500, traffic at 9 o'clock, 3 miles eastbound Skyhawk, level 5,000.
Okay, 6 Whiskey Mike, we're stopping 4,500, looking for the 9 o'clock traffic, 6 Whiskey Mike. All right, so where is he? It's, I don't see him on this screen, a whole bunch of them there. All right, we'll get the props back. Fuel pumps off one at a time, 1 alligator, 2 alligator. There's our 4,500. We're going to stop there, help the autopilot, and set up the fuel.
6 Whiskey Mike, cancel altitude restriction.
6 Whiskey Mike, cancel altitude restriction, thanks. I think we might just stay here. Let's see what our ground speed. No, I don't like it. Let's go 6,500. I don't know where that traffic. He's above us and gone, no fractor. All right. So this characteristic is also the autopilot. So we're going to activate Direct 2, put the CDI on GPS. We're going to put it on nav. And a lot of times you have to reset the autopilot to get the nav to work. And you don't turn it off at the autopilot, and you don't turn it off on the yoke. You have to actually go to the circuit breaker and turn the circuit breaker off, and then turn it back on. Part of my pre-flight was, check circuit breakers. The left aux pump had popped, and I had to reset it. So far it's staying down. I don't know what that's all about. So on the way down here, I came down at flight level 190, 19,000 feet. And got a good tailwind. Well, there's payback, because now, going back, we got a headwind, and so that's why we're staying low. 6,500 gets us over these hills, and then we're going to maybe 4,500. And let's push the nose down a little bit. I don't know what we're over. Okay, let's just settle in here. Santa Clarita to the right. Santa Clarita. Okay, cool. All right, we're on track. All right, so now when you set up this plane for fuel, so you can use and set it up by the book. There's no shade in here, so you can't go by gallons, digital fuel totalizer. And so I go by temperature. So on a 421 engine, maximum EGTs you want are around 1640. Okay, but you know, you don't run into 1640. That's just the maximum you want to do. So what you do is you run it around 15, in the low 1500s. 1520 to 1540 is what I like. And so this plane has 2 GEM engine analyzers. They're different models. The left one is missing a digit, so you only get 1500 and then the next 5. It's missing the 4th digit, which is okay. You don't need the last one. So you know it's 15, you know, right now I'm at 1560, so I'm going to increase it a little bit. So here's how I get the fuel set up on this. You go to 1540, that's 30 something, and then you look here at the fuel flow from the factory, left engine, that's it. Now you go ahead and just match up the right engine. Unlike my plane, which is sitting in Medford with no engine on the left side, this puppy has a fuel flow that are pretty close between the 2 engines. Now, the right engine fuel flow matched up to the left, and it's at 1414, so we can lean it out a little more. So we try to lean it out to 15 1/4. So the characteristic for this plane is both sides are pretty even. So I'm resetting this. We do have a wind from the left, so I'm just going to hide I'm just going to put the heading bug to south. All right, so that's a pretty good. A little bit extra fuel is better for detonation. The cylinder head temperature on the left side, the gauge works, doesn't work, bounces around.
Cessna 6 Whiskey Mike, contact LA Center 135.8.
25.8 for the center, 6 Whiskey Mike. Thanks, and so long. LA Center, good morning. Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike checking on 6,600.
November 6 Whiskey Mike, LA Center, Roger, Burbank, California 3020.
3020, 6 Whiskey Mike. All right, that took us up a little bit. All right, so our EGTs are set up. Fuel flow is matching, very close. So I said the cylinder temperature gauge here jumps around, doesn't always work. It's probably just a probe or a loose wire. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. We gotta work on that. Where are we now? Castic Lake, Pyramid Lake coming up. Not knowing any better, I'm guessing we're crossing the Grapevine. So you can see now that it's not holding its nav. And I'm drifting off. I'm 10 degrees off. It's not holding the nav. So what I've been doing in this case is going to the heading bug on the autopilot. And then it'll follow the heading bug. So here's a case where I'm going to recenter the needle, go to the circuit breaker, turn the autopilot off, 1 alligator, 2 alligator, turn it back on, autopilot nav, and now let's see, we'll put the heading bug on east, let's see if it goes, see now it's turning towards it. 325, that's about it there. Let's see how that works. So, you know, what you have to do, you have to learn, what the plane you're flying does and do it. We don't have a digit on the DME, so it's basically inoperable on the KNS-80. But the ILS, localizer glide slope feature works on it, so that's all we really want it for. Beautiful lake there, whatever it is, to the left, Pyramid Lake, I think it is. Like I said, not knowing any better, I'm guessing we're crossing the Grapevine because it looks like a 4-lane highway below us. So here, see now we're lined up, 325, 325. We're on nav. It's holding it fine on the autopilot, and it's holding the altitude just fine. Now it's a little cool in here. If Nancy was here, she'd ask if I had any heat in this puppy. Okay, turn the cabin heat on. Now on the way down here, it was showing 20 below 0 Fahrenheit. Here's a picture of the outside air temperature gauge on the way down. Now we're showing 45 degrees Fahrenheit outside air. And so I'm thinking that we're going to get a little bit too hot because I had the temperature really turned up on the way down here.
Victor Foxtrot, crest 7 miles south of Lake Hughes on maintain 11,000. The Burbank altimeter.
So getting to Van Nuys is a real easy flight. It's at the top of the LA area, so you don't have the Class Bravo to worry about. And they're very
Number 6 Whiskey Mike,
friendly.
contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
18.8 for Bakersfield, 6 Whiskey Mike. Thanks, and so long. Bakersfield, good morning, Golden Eagle, 6 Whiskey Mike, checking on 6,500.
Number 6 Whiskey Mike, Bakersfield approach, Bakersfield altimeter 3024.
3024, 6 Whiskey Mike. So I'm looking down at ground speed, 190. So, you know, whenever you get 190 in this plane, you're very happy to get it. It's a little slower than a 421C model, a little slower, but still pressurized and fast, very fast. So let me see what other quirks I'm going to talk about on this plane before I shut the cameras off for a while, because the flight is going to be boring. So the attitude indicator, yeah, see there, it's very warm. I'm putting these knobs back to not so hot. The attitude indicator is slow to erect, and I think that's because the plane was inactive for a while, and it just kind of needs to get, you know, things exercised and going. It'll come up sometimes right away, and other times it'll take like 10 or 15 minutes to get going. So that's one thing you have to be aware of. All the gauges work just fine. Once in a while, the auxiliary tank will do what it just did and flip all the way over to some ungodly position. It'll flip over to the 7 o'clock position. I think it does that when it's totally full and something with the gauge doesn't work right. So that's something to be looked at. I'm going to be using some aux tanks here shortly, and we'll see about that. Everything else is good. The other thing is, just like on my plane, the left alternator light
3 miles
comes on, like the left alternator is not working, but the gauge still shows a charge. And that's what counts, is the gauge that shows a charge. And so that's what counts, but right now it's off, so it's acting normally. The items that are inoperative, we have marked inoperative. The second transponder is off by about 4,000 feet for the mode C. So if you're at 6,000 feet, it's telling air traffic control you're at 2,000 feet. The radar altimeter doesn't work. It's way over there on the right anyway. It doesn't work.
8 Papa traffic 1.
And the RMI doesn't work, it's not hooked to anything.
500 level RV, contact LA Center 125.8, g'day. 500.
Now when you have something inoperative, you have to label it inoperative. You can't label it inop, I-N-O-P. You have to spell out inoperative. So now we're in the valley, the Central Valley in California, as it's called. You can see some snow-capped mountains to the right and way in front of us on the Sierras. So the flight down to Van Nuys took me 1 hour and 31. That's from runway to runway. And that was an IFR. I had to do the approach. And what have we got so far? So let's see. If this keeps up this speed, we're 1 hour and 17 to Auburn, and we've been we've been 23 in the air. So hour 18 and 23 is 141. So that's about right, about a 145. But it was crazy at the run up there in Van Nuys with all those planes waiting to go and the jets waiting to go. So, God, I can't imagine if you had an IFR release how long it would take to get out of there. But we're happy.
Skyhawk 1 Kilo Sierra, radar services terminated, squawk VFR, and change to advisory
So
frequency.
nothing's happening up here. I got nothing more to say about this beautiful airplane I'm flying. Air conditioning works, but we're not using it this time of year. The pressurization system works well. Avionics are what they are. You got the Garmin 530. There's nothing on this plane that you can't do, okay? You can do a LPV approach down to minimums. It is not a known ice plane, but it's got the ice. So you got the boots and alcohol windshield and the heated props and the heated pitot. So if you get into unforecasted ice, you have a way to get rid of it. So that's good. It is a 421B, and it's like a big bulky twin Cessna, and I like it, and it's a good aircraft, and I'm happy to be in it. That's all for now. When we get closer in, I might turn the cameras back on to get the landing in Auburn, but
5 Delta change.
Pretty boring. You've seen it many times before. So we got this camera back on. This is the midway check-on.
299, turn right, heading 200.
51 minutes in the air and 51 minutes to destination. It's 100 minutes total and hour and 40 if you add them up. Fresno is right in front of us. You can't see it, but it's there. Trust me, it's there. And we're just sitting there along. Nothing else is going on. The autopilot is stellar. It's held the nav function this entire time.
Good morning, altimeter 3024.
The fuel gauge did not want to jump back. If I put it on main, it goes up normal and then not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to mains on both engines. Light goes out, the gauge works properly. So that tells us that the issue is in the tank for the left aux tank for whatever reason. So we're resetting our fuel here. Everything else fine? Nothing's happening. I'm talking right now to Fresno approach. Because right over Fresno, we're at 6,500. We lost a little bit of ground speed. We're showing 182 across the ground and 153 miles away. I turned the auxiliary fuel pumps off, and everything is working as it's supposed to. So you ask, what would be a nice panel for this plane? It's pretty simple.
Sky 299, squawk 0456.
It doesn't need a transponder because it's got the Garmin 340. It's got the Garmin ADS-B in and out transponder. It doesn't need that.
Reducing down 5 Delta.
Thank you. November 3 Charlie Alpha, traffic no factor.
Traffic no factor, 3 Charlie Alpha.
It's got a
299.
It's got a number 2
Madera Airport and a left down
nav comm, so I would leave that alone. I would put another gem analyzer in here to match the G. I think it's the G3. This is an old one. It's not that good. Now the big thing is here and here.
Number 8209 Echo 1000.
Is you have
Cherokee 209
a Garmin 530 WAS. I would pull that out and sell it for, I don't know what they're going for now, 6,000 maybe, 6,000, and I would put in a GTN 750, which costs about
heading 080.
15 to 17,000.
08009.
KNS 80, because it's a backup for here, I'd want to relocate it to here, just to keep it for the second ILS receiver because it works. And it works. And if you get rid of it, you got to find something else to replace it, but it works, it's wired in. I would just move it over a foot. Hopefully it has enough cable behind it. The audio panel, it's a Garmin 347. I'd put in a Bluetooth audio panel, and I put it up here on top of the 750. And then over here, I would get a G600 and a TXI touchscreen.
System 01,
so
right, heading
all you're talking about, and then the autopilot issue, this is non-serviceable autopilot.
Right this time?
And so you'd have to replace the autopilot.
Absolutely, Cherokee.
And it had to be something modern with a pre-select altitude. And I wouldn't care if it's a S-Tech 55X or a King 200, or if you really wanted to go, big time, you get the
System 01, turn right heading
Garmin 600, GFC 600 autopilot.
Flight System 01.
And that's what I would do with this panel. I got to take the iPad down. It's in the sun. I just got the hot warning, high heat warning. So I'm going to take it out of the sun. The sun is hitting right here. I wouldn't worry about the radar altimeter. It's not important. The RMI I wouldn't worry about. So it's basically, the three things. Autopilot, a GTN 750, and a G600 TXI. And, you can live with this audio panel, but if you're at it and it's not that expensive, I would just go ahead and change it out anyway. And that would give you a really, really nice panel and add value to the plane. The way it is perfectly fine because, like I said earlier, you can do everything. You can shoot a LP approach down to minimums. You have autopilot. You have coupling with the autopilot. It seems to be working, and we're not going to play with it or touch it, so that's fine. And that's anyone that has this setup.
65 Bravo Delta, contact Tower 1.
That's the best setup. A GTN 750 and a G600. And the transponder for in and out. That's really it. That's really it. That's my 2 cents worth. While we're sitting here in cruise, 42 minutes to destination. I'm going to turn the camera off. When we get closer, I'll turn it back on. We can continue the journey and get the landing into Auburn.
So if I can stop talking for 30 seconds, I'll let you enjoy the beauty of the California foothills on the way to Auburn.
Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, left downwind, runway 25, full stop, Auburn. And down comes the gear during the downwind turn. Okay, coordinated turn, 1, 2, 3, mix it up, check, check, check. Got louder, why'd it get louder? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Why'd it get louder? Check, 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 check. Okay, that's better. All right, there's a bunch of them waiting to go. 3 of them waiting to go.
And 41 Zulu Mike's left crosswind, 25 Auburn.
I'm Trevor, Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, turning close in left base, runway 25, full stop, Auburn.
Auburn traffic, 41 Zulu Mike's left downwind, 25, be departing to the northwest, last call, Auburn.
I'm Trevor, Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike, continuing left base to final, short final, 25, full stop, Auburn. Ooh, we're a little high. There we go. All right, 3 green. And we're down. Hour 45, that's about right. So this bird's got new tires, and the brakes are really good. So that's what we like. All right, we stop straight ahead, and then leave the runway. Our traffic, Golden Eagle 6 Whiskey Mike is clear of 25 going to parking lot. Okay, that was easy. Thanks for riding along.
Yeah, baby.